So I had a great weekend, all right? If you follow me on Instagram, Love Erin AD, you caught a glimpse of my weekend. I went on my yearly pilgrimage to Lafayette, Louisiana for a festival international. It is a world music festival. I go every year. I used to go with my girlfriends. Then I started going kind of together but separately with Larry, who is now my husband. We would go down there together. We would split up and then come back together on the way home because we'd be with each other's friends, be with our friends. And then I got engaged down there, and it was so magical. And so we take our yearly pilgrimage down there. I have a good old hippie time. Well, I have a good old hippie time. My husband is just too cool. He posts up with his crew and stuff. But this year we took our son Nicholas, so he had a good time. Larry's friend Beck has nieces and nephews that live there, so Nicholas was with them, and he had a good time. So he'll probably be coming with us every year now. Because he was like, on the way back, he was like, I see why y'all come to Lafayette a lot. I like it down here. So, yeah. But, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I got to meet up with one of my best friends, Monique, a fellow daydreamer. She's been on the podcast before. Hung out with her and another good girlfriend, Brittany Willis, B. Will. Had a good time. Oh, so I got a chance to see Mannie Fresh, y'all. And I did not think I would be this excited to hang out. Well, not hang out, but like to just chill. Well, not chill, but attend a Mannie Fresh show. Like, I never thought that. But Monique sent me the flyer invite and stuff on Facebook. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm down. I mean, like, we always do something. Somebody's always in town for festival weekend. Last year was Big Frida, and y'all, I was on stage bouncing ass next to Big Frida. Like, oh my God, I never would have thought. Frida was like, I need 10 volunteers. And Monique hopped herself up there, and I was like, oh my God, like, I want to do it so bad. I want to do it so bad. And Monique was like, hold my purse. And I was like, bitch, I can't hold your purse. Move out the way. I'm getting up there too. Oh my God. And it was like the best experience of my whole entire freaking life outside of getting engaged and graduating college and stuff like that. But I will say this, Big Frida played such a big part in my college experience. Like, such a big part. Like, so many times I was in Banana Bob's bouncing ass and stuff, and just trying to bounce ass because I'm from North Louisiana and I didn't grow up with like cousins and stuff, so I didn't really know how to do that. But Big Frida was such a big part of my college experience, and I finally got to let her know that by shaking my ass awkwardly on stage next to her. And then this year, it was Mannie Fresh. So I'm like, I'm all ready because like I get to hang out with my girlfriends and stuff. I haven't had a girlfriend experience in a long time, which is probably why I was so down and depressed for my birthday. It's probably one of the reasons why. Yeah, my birthday passed. It was April 18th. And I was just like, yay, I'm 33, praise the Lord. But anyway, with my girlfriends, we get there to the place and everything, and like Mannie comes out and I lose my whole freaking mind. Like, I had so much fun. And if you saw my Instagram, you saw pieces of it. I didn't Instagram story the whole thing, but trust me, I enjoyed my whole entire self. And I didn't realize how much Mannie Fresh and Big Timers like meant to me. Like, I've always liked them when they came out, you know, like Juvie and Mannie and all of them, and Lil Wayne. How can you forget Lil Wayne? You know, all of them. I remember when they came out in the 99 and 2000. I was 8th and 9th grade and stuff. But when he started playing Get Your Roll On, oh, I freaking lost it. And it's like, I think it's just because I was in his presence, right? And I was like right there in front of his turntables. Like, we was like front, okay? We claimed our spot early, all right? Because we wanted to get all the views. All the views, and Mannie Fresh up there looking like a teddy bear, like all of the views. Get Your Roll On came on, and people, I was in there rolling so hard. Anyway, thoroughly enjoyed myself this weekend. Thoroughly. You know, another thing that I did not realize played a big part in my life, Destiny's Child. Like, I drove to Lafayette and I was getting sleepy, and I was like, I need something that's gonna like liven me up or whatever. But like, ever since Baychella, I was like, I just started listening to like some old Destiny's Child stuff. And like, I knew every freaking Destiny's Child song that was playing on iTunes. I was just like, I just could not believe that. Like singing everything hard. Oh my gosh. And like the writings on the wall CD, that was like ninth grade. All of ninth grade. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me where I was singing horribly and adding one of my best friends, my childhood best friends, Asia. And I didn't even have a boyfriend back then. Like I barely had a crush on people back then. So I don't know why I was so into that album, but it just touched me. And so the whole way to Lafayette, my husband had to listen to me sing all of Destiny's Child singles. All of them. Anyway, yeah. All those people touched my life. Okay, so I took a me day on Monday. Like I said, I went out of town, came back, and I just decided to take that Monday off. Because normally I'm dog tired. Seriously freaking tired. And I was like, you know what, Aaron, you just take Monday off. Like Larry's taking me to Punta Cana. It's my first trip out the country. But he's taking me to Punta Cana next month, and I took Monday off too, because I'm just like, I'm not trying to come back from a trip and I just be tired when I go to work. Like, I don't need that. I semi-cleaned up my house. It was like I was going to have to come home and do a whole lot of cleaning and stuff, but I just decided to take off, and I'm really happy I did that. And from here on out, I'm just going to incorporate me days into my life, because my week is just crazy. My week is my week. Everybody's weekdays are just crazy. Even if you're single and you don't have kids and you don't have a dog, like we just have so much stuff that we do. And sometimes we spread ourselves thin, or we don't know how to balance, or even if we are balancing, sometimes you get tired of juggling shit. But like my weekdays are my weekdays. My weekends are just like extended. My weekends are just like extended weekdays. I have no idea what sleeping in feels like. No idea. So like my weekday starts at 4:30 because I try to get up in the morning. Sometimes I do get up in the morning to go work out. Sometimes I just be like, fuck this. I'm just not even. And then it's on to work and this and that, and then like either it's Bible study or it's CrossFit, because I'm a CrossFit newbie now. I've been doing it for like 3 weeks now. CrossFit, or it's like grocery store, or it's like working on some stuff that my husband and I are doing, or just laundry, or just whatever. Like I'm just tired because the days go so long. And then like when Saturday comes, like once again, I don't know what sleeping in feels like. Saturday is just like another weekday to me. I get up early, not as early as 4:30, but I get up early. I either clean up or I try to get some cardio in. Now I'm doing CrossFit, but even before I did CrossFit, I still would go to a workout class. So I do a workout class. Right after that, that's at 9 o'clock. So by 10:30, I'm rushing to the radio station because I'm a weekend radio personality, so I need to record my show. Sometimes I do a little bit of that live, but I need to do my show. After my show, I'm usually done by noon, but then it's like whatever else I had planned, whether it's family time or a grocery store or running errands, or just coming home and cleaning up, semi-cleaning up or whatever. But it's on to something else. Even if it's just hanging out with like friends and stuff, it's still something that I have scheduled to do and that I have to put energy into. Sunday rolls around. I don't sleep in on Sundays because I go to church. My church has 3 services. 2 services in Monroe, and then a 3rd service in Bastrop, which is 30 minutes away. The 8 o'clock service, well, actually 7:45, but I'll never get there till about 8:15, 8:30. That's in Monroe. I try to make it to that. If I don't, I go to the 9:30 service in Bastrop. Well, once that's over with, it's either grocery store, and then I come home to cook for my family, cook breakfast for my family and stuff. Unless Larry decides to take me to brunch. And who finna pass a brunch? I'm not. Because the brunch we go to got bottomless mimosas for $10. And if you know me, you know I like my bottomless mimosas, okay? Love them. So that's like my weekend. I try to chill out on Sunday. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that, but I try to. So anyway, all that to say, like, I'm just going to start incorporating a me day. And then on my me day on Monday, like, I didn't do much. I made it my mission to stay in the bed as long as I possibly could. And that usually means until Golden Girls goes off. That's usually like around 8 something. Maybe like 8 to 9. I can't exactly remember. But yeah, like I tried to go back to sleep. I took little naps in between Larry leaving at the crack of damn dawn and Golden Girls going off. And then like my next thing was to go to the gym. I was going to do anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes of cardio. I met up with one of my best friends, Sharice, for lunch because we don't get to see, even though we live down the street from each other, like we don't see each other all the time. Like we don't talk on the phone every day. So I had to go check on my girl, see what's up with her. And then I had to vent because Larry got on my nerve over the weekend, and I had to let somebody know that knows him really well and won't judge me or him. But anyway, and then like I was like, I need to record my podcast, which didn't get recorded because I'm recording it 2 days later. But I went home and I feel like I need to do something productive. Like I kept feeling like I'm going to come home, like my mom's going to come home. And she's going to be like, Erin, you just been sitting around in your pajamas all day. Like, I remember that. I remember one time she came home and I still had on my pajamas. I was like maybe middle school. And she was like, really? Like, she kind of got into me. So I keep thinking about that. So I was like, maybe I need to do something productive. So what I did was I washed all the dirty clothes from over the weekend, put them in the dryer. I ain't fold shit, and they are still sitting in the dryer 2 days later. The only thing that I folded and put up were the clothes that we washed before we left to go to Lafayette. So it wasn't a lot. I put those up. I ironed whatever blouses were in the laundry basket because I'm always late for work. I'm trying to be a better employee. So went ahead, ironed that stuff. But that's all I did that was productive. And then I sipped on wine for the rest of the day. So just some other things that's been happening. Express and Amazon increased my credit card limit. Thanks, but no thanks. Like, you could have really kept that extra money. Like, I don't need it. Capital One, you can increase my limit. I'll take that. I won't spend it really. But I'll take that, Capital One. Express and Amazon, you can keep that. I really don't need it. I don't need to just be, and then the thing about Amazon is like, you can literally buy any and everything from Amazon. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that. I'm pretty strong, but just don't give me all that freedom, all that wiggle room. You can really keep that. But I guess the good thing about that is that my credit is going up. Thank you, Jesus. Speaking of Jesus, I paid my tithes. There we go. Tithes. Nope, still don't got it. You know what I'm talking about. I paid my 10% last week. I'm really proud of that. Not just 10%, because I've paid my 10% since I started working. But what I haven't been doing was paying it on the gross amount, the full amount before taxes. And I did that for the first time in my life last week. And I feel so proud of myself, Jesus. I really do. Because I swear I've been wanting to pay the gross amount for so long. But when I started working and living on my own, I realized I was broke as shit. And I was like every other Christian out there, like, Lord, I can't afford to pay you all of it, the 10% on all of it. But I did that. And the reason why I felt motivated, because I've been paying my tithes for years. It may not be every single Sunday. Well, I mean, every pay period, but that's been a part of my life since I've been working. But what motivated me to do it this time, I've been doing a lot of fasting and praying. Once again, if you follow me on Instagram, Love Erin AD, you would have seen that. But I've been doing a lot of fasting and praying, not so much meditating, because I really don't get meditation. Is it praying? I don't think I know how to do that. Anyway, the fasting and praying has been working for me at this point. But I didn't even really come across it. I followed this podcast. I've been following this podcast for a long time. I just haven't listened to it. And I just found the time to listen to it. It's called Blessed and Bossed Up Podcast. And I was listening to episode 69. And it was called How to Make God the CEO. So I think I'm getting a little entrepreneur bug. influenced by my husband, and I've been fighting it. And at this point, I fought it for like all of last year. This year, I'm on board. I still need to push, but I'm definitely interested, and I'm definitely interested in doing some things. But I'm definitely interested in me and my husband creating something together for our family outside of what we do for other people's companies, and what outside we do, like outside of our hobbies and things. So I've been getting the entrepreneurial bug. So I've been looking at stuff like that lately. Like I said, I decided to go ahead and listen to this podcast. Well, the girl, I can't think of her name right now, but she's a Christian and she's an entrepreneur. And so this particular episode, How to Make God the CEO, she talks about several different things. Some people I think she might have had a seminar, and some of the things that people were asking, she said she was going to bring it to her podcast. So she goes over a couple of things that people were asking. One of them was how she surrendered her business. Like somebody asked, how did she surrender her business and build trust with God? And so she was just saying start praying and being honest with God, like tell him all the issues in faith that you have, like you tell him, the Lord, I just don't trust you sometimes, or I don't trust you because people in church have hurt me, or that's what she was saying. My personal issue is that I try to control everything. And I know like recently I reached a point in my life where I'm trying to control everything in my life and shit is just not happening. And I know why it's not happening. It's because I have not surrendered and just given it all to him. And I know that's all I need to do, but I'm so hard-headed. I'm just like, nah, I got this. So anyway, so it was awesome because like I said, I've been praying and fasting, and I came across this podcast and she talks about surrendering her business. Now, I'm apply this to everything in my life, but she goes over that. She talks about discerning God's voice. Basically, like someone asked her, how do you know the difference between what God is telling you versus what you're telling yourself? How can you figure that out? Like, Jesus, is this really you, or am I just over here tripping today? Is this really you? She talks about fasting, which is awesome. I was definitely surprised because, like I said, I had been doing that for a while. And so I have friends and things that fast. So it's not like I couldn't go to someone and talk to them about it. But it's just like I just decided to listen to this podcast on this day. And she's talking about stuff like that. So I was like, oh, cool. Somebody else is out there doing it. Now, she talks about a whole fasting schedule. She fasts the whole from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Mondays. I'm not there. I pretty much do it in the morning. Some days I do it every day. Some days I just do it like once a week. It's just depending on when I feel the need to just really just get my mind clear. But anyway, she talks about that. But the part that motivated me to do my tithes, which I'm very proud of, someone asked her, how does she transition into tithing her full 10%? And she goes into a whole bunch of things. Like I said, she's an entrepreneur. She has different businesses, so she gets paid differently. And so she was talking about how she was able to get these large sums of money and put X amount aside or a portion or this percentage or whatever. But she was just saying, like, she went through the whole feeling. She had a friend who came to her out of nowhere, which is how she felt like God was talking to her about it, and was talking to her about, her friend was talking to her about her tithing. But she was just like, she went through those phases where she was like, I just don't have any money to tithe right now, or that money could go to something else. Like, I can definitely identify with that, because when I was taking out my full 10%, I was like, damn, that's a whole lot of money. But then I was like, you're supposed to be a gracious guy. And Aaron, when it boils down to it, like, you cannot have a half-ass investment. I know this is crazy because I'm cursing, but half-ass investment with God and then expect a 100% return with him. Like, you can't do that. So be a gracious giver, be a happy giver, and give what you're supposed to give to him. So I did that last week. I didn't do that this week. Yeah, I didn't do that with this pay period, the most recent one. But the one that's coming up, I've already put that in my budget. Like, it's already planned. I go ahead, whip out my app on payday. I'll whip out my app that my church uses, and pay it so that I won't spend it, because I will definitely spend it. In college, I would write a check, mail it to my mom in Shreveport for her to take to church with her. And like, days would pass and I'd be like, Mom, like, what's up? Like, I keep did you take my check to church? Because like I keep watching my account and the check hasn't cleared. I know the church has deposited this money already. Like, and she like, oh girl, I didn't go. Oh girl, I forgot. Or I was working over there in the media ministry, so I didn't get a chance to go downstairs. So I'm just like, yo, what's up with that, Mom? Seriously. And she'll just be like, oh, you just need to balance your checkbook. Clearly, I can't balance my checkbook. I'm bad at that, which is why I'm sending this to you so you can do it for me. Because if I hold on to it or do whatever, this is back in like 03, 04. Like if I do it, whatever, like it's just not going to happen. And I'm trying to be a good Christian. I'm trying to do what you told me to do. But you playing games, but that's okay. I'm just going to spend this money. And since my account is hooked up to your account, when I overdraft, the money's just going to come out of your account. And then when I became an adult and I started working at the bank years later, many years later, I would just I would purchase a money order for the amount of my tithes. And even though I was planning on going to church, I would still take out the money order and I would mail it to my church. Even if it was like, if I got paid on a Saturday and I was going to church on Sunday or whatever, it didn't matter what day payday fell on, I would do it because like, I just needs to happen because I'll fool around and be like, I need groceries, I need gas, or I ain't gonna lie, I need a drink or whatever. And I'll fool around, put that money right back in my account.